Hello everyone, welcome to Fiaura, and today we're going to be looking at the LAV-300. Now I'm going to quickly rearrange my commander so that it's a neutral commander who doesn't really affect the stats of the vehicle. First off, let's talk about this thing's military service. Primarily, it was developed by the United States. It is used by Venezuela, the Philippines. It was used by the U.S. for a time. It's also used by Kuwait. And its only real conflict was in the first Gulf War when Iraq invaded Kuwait. All of them were destroyed. However, they did have a fairly good kill-to-death ratio against the Iraqi main battle tanks. So, not the most glamorous military history or service. Currently, it's kind of a second market vehicle, but it's not a bad vehicle. Now, big thing with the LAV-300 is you got to get used to the wheels. Like, I advise going in PvE a couple times and just driving around and learning how to maneuver a wheeled vehicle, because it's vastly different. For now, though, we're going to take a look at the stats and see how this thing stacks up in comparison to its three competitors. That's right, three competitors. Because you not only have the Xylo, but you also have the AMX-10P if you're looking at a Tier 4 tank destroyer. So let's start with the Xylo. And as all you guys can see, the Xylo has superior camouflage, and view range, and gun depression, and turret traverse, which for wheeled vehicles, the only real traverse you have is turret traverse. Your wheel radius is... the circle depends on how big your vehicle is, and the LAV-300 does have the biggest circle because it's the biggest vehicle. So not only do you have the worst camouflage rating of the three vehicles, as you can see, between the three of them, the worst. You have the same camouflage as the AMX-10P, but you're the biggest chassis. You do have the middle road of view range. Good news. You do have the worst gun depression, however. Get used to having to really expose yourself to shoot. And while you do technically have the best armor composition, you don't have the most armor. The AMX-10P takes that title away from you. And the AMX-10P's armor will actually stop rounds from poorly angled shots from AFV autocannons, whereas this LAV-300, you're lucky if something bounces. Like, you flat out, you're lucky if it bounces. Do not rely on the armor of this vehicle at all. You do have the advantage in hit points, and even without my retrofit, you still have more hit points than the AMX-10P, which is why I applied this retrofit. Damage per minute wise, you have to rely on heat for most of this vehicle, but your heat is by far the most devastating in comparison to the AMX-10P, and the Xylo doesn't even get heat. Not only that, your Sabo round is better than the Xylos in every way, shape, and form. And your rate of fire is the middle road again. Not bad. Here's where we start to run into where we see the biggest disadvantage of this vehicle, and that's accuracy and aim time. You have the worst accuracy and the longest aim time. Everything about your crew should be focused on fixing that. Your tank destroyer, your primary advantage is when you fire fully aimed shots. You need to utilize that primary advantage. So, now that we see the statistical differences, it's also good to note that it has the same crew. Commander, driver, gunner. There's no loader. The gunner loads the gun. Which brings us to commander choice. Now, if you don't have Freya or the commander on this vehicle unlocked, who is, I can't pronounce his first name, so I'm going to call him Sana. If you don't have Freya or Sana unlocked, Sabrina Washington's your best bet. If you have one of those two unlocked, go with them. This thing relies on heat shells. Those have the highest critical chance available, and those two commanders equipped with, oh god, you're gonna rip some crew apart. left, right, and sideways, or you're going to set vehicles on fire over and over again and just cackle maniacally as you do so. Your crew. I recommend getting quick draw. You have the longest aim time. It's going to have the most influence in comparison to everything else to get your aim time down in order to make that shot, as it were. So you have the sniper bonus behind your hits, and you can absolutely devastate tanks with that sniper bonus, as we're going to see in the combat footage. I also recommend Smooth Ride to decrease your aim time further because you have a smaller aim circle to begin with. The second skill, if you get that far, I would go with off-road driving, and I would consider rapid fire. I'm not quite sure it applies because the LAV-300 does have an auto-loading mechanism. It's an automatic loader. I don't know if that would apply or not. You can test it out and let me know. I would seriously consider explosive shells. Just saying. You're going to rely on the heat a lot. And there is a unique upgrade tree that we're going to go over for this one because it's a little different. Your other skill up here, I would go with off-road driving. Just flat out, like I said. Retrofits, you have a lot of flexibility with this vehicle. You only have 2. But your options are not exactly limited. I went with the hull reinforcement to make it more survivable. I know there are people who use chrome barrels and people who use the advanced thermal sleeve and the gyroscopic stabilizer and the augmented breech lock. Any of those is fine. Take your pick. Base it on your playstyle. I wanted better endurance for the vehicle, so I would be alive longer towards the end of the battle. You can go with something else for firepower, or even go with the mobility because it's really, really fast. This is the fastest of the wheeled tank destroyers in terms of top speed. Not in terms of acceleration, but you could probably go with something to increase its acceleration if you wanted to. Or you could even increase that maximum speed, which would just make it ridiculous. Your other retrofit is a technology retrofit. Now, just because you have the middle range view range for wheeled tank destroyers doesn't mean your view range is bad. Your view range is actually outstanding. So, with the same commander, Sabrina here, versus the OF-40, for instance, you've got over 100 more meters of view range against the main battle tank. Against the T-64, you've got over 100 more meters of view range. Against the Swing Fire, you're almost out-spotting the Swing Fire in terms of actual view range. Against the Sheridan, you not only have a better camouflage rating with Sabrina, and my Sheridan does also have Sabrina equipped, you have a better view range. So your view range is quite fantastic, and going with the augmented optics can make that really awesome. Now, your other option that I would recommend is if you don't want the optics, go with the intercom system. Just improve all your crew skills and make it reload faster, aim faster, accelerate quicker. Although it's not a huge improvement, but it can be a decent one. So those are your 2 real technology options for this one. Consumables, standard consumable loadout. Now, a lot of people have asked for some PvE footage in the reviews. And if I give both PvP and PvE footage, it's going to be really long. And I don't want to put you guys through that. So what I'm going to be doing is every 3rd or 4th review, I'm going to be switching over to PvE. So this time we're going to do a PvE review, since the last 3 have been PvP reviews. We're going to do a PvE review. And we're going to go with Ghost Hunter, the hardest PvE mission in my opinion in terms of having to fight that long and that hard. Particularly since, in this case, you're going to be the bottom tier. So let's go take a look at the combat footage, shall we? So here we are on Ghost Hunter. I'm in the LAV-300. I am currently with a T-64, a T-72, a Chieftain Mark V, and an RDF light tank, which means I am actually the bottom tier, and we are in a pretty extreme disadvantage, because we do have a Tier 6. We can expect to meet Tier 8 tanks, which is why you see Ramkas appearing on the screen right now, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you there, bud. However, this thing's heat shell, as you're about to find out, doesn't have a lot of problem with Ramka turrets. Still does a decent shot when hitting them in the turret. If you can get behind them though, or get that commander's box in the front, go for it. This time, however, I pretty much focus on trying to hit the turrets because I need to be able, I don't need to be focusing on aiming. I need to be able to get away from these things if they decide to turn their guns, because I will die horribly. That's a Terminator. Again, low tier tank, and I'm a tank destroyer. I want to stay away from them, and I'm trying to deliver some damage. I hit the, and I go, wait, I can shoot the rear of the turret. There it is. Bang. As I said, it does, even doing partial damage shots, this thing packs a hit. And a full damage shot is like getting hit by a freight train. 350 from a tier 4. Yeah. That fires every 4.9 seconds? You've got to be kidding me. This thing is just beating people. BMP2. And this is with the stock gun. This is not the upgraded gun. 416. You get that sniper bonus, it really hurts. And you can make it count. Now the big thing to remember is that this thing's really maneuverable, and you guys are about to see this. I'm going to pop up here, just enough, and right in the rear of that tank because he's showing his ass. Don't show your ass to me. I'll kill you. And then the T-90 here exposes his side, and I'm just eating it. I'm eating it all day long. As I said, really rapid fire gun. By the time they can get their turret, if the enemy turret is turned, you can successfully get off 2 shots before they can even get their turret around to you. So that's something to remember. You've got a really high rate of fire. Now we're going to see the speed in action. And my terrible driving. You guys come here to watch my terrible driving, right? God, Fiaura, learn to drive. But anyway, this thing is as fast, if not faster, than AFVs once it gets up to speed. And as you can see, that smooth ride ability, the shooting on the move, is pretty good. And you're going to see me constantly shoot on the move with this thing. It's not always about getting your sniper bonus with this tank. Sometimes you just take the shot. I mean, you're big, you're an easy target. It's usually in the middle of a power slide, taking a shot and hitting the target. That happens. Particularly on stationary targets. You can be coming around a corner and going full tilt, and then go, I'm going to turn right now, and still hit. That is the amazing thing about the wheeled vehicles. You can shoot on the move. It's a bad angle to be impacting on a Bradley, and I know it. This, however, is right below the turret where I wanted it. Get some higher ground and try to provide overwatching support. Hello, how are you today? As I said, it will penetrate. You just have to make sure that you're planting the round in the right position to do it. See, I see all that ERA and I'm hesitant. And I hit the damn guns. Shell, again, not the most accurate thing in the world. And not the highest velocity shells until you get the Sabo round. So you're going to be taking a lot of shots that aren't going to connect.
Identify.
And you're going to be hesitant to take some shots because, well, slivers are not what this thing specializes at hitting. But here, nice little shot. Now, I'm having some frame rate stutter, and this was happening in-game. This was not because of my recording equipment or anything. I think I was having server-based lag. Gotcha. And that autocannon, I need to find some cover. This thing doesn't have armor. But even moving full tilt, it'll hit stuff all day long. I get I'm not getting the most out of my damage because I'm not stopping to aim, but can you really afford to stop and aim when there's a BMP aimed at you? Oh, this might burn. Gun depression costs me a hit, but thankfully he hits my gun instead of my actual main body. Otherwise that would have hurt. Got rid of him. And my teammates are all dead except for this T-72. I need to work to keep this 72 alive. Ah, that was a bad shot, Fiaura, and you know it. Again, thankfully I'm quick and I can get out of the gun sight before he can fire. Now we reposition so that we can shoot at this chieftain from an unexpected angle. Right there, lower plate all day long. Because you're firing heat, the shells have a better arc, particularly for arcing over objects. And you have to remember that the rear side of turrets is a wonderful place to just ram it down people's throats. I start to try to go through here and then go, oh wait, my tires. Remember something about this vehicle. Your hull is actually thinner than your tire base. So there are going to be times when you think you can squeeze through something and you can't because your tires are sticking out. So take that into account. Okay, I'm trying to get a shot on this thing. It's an upgraded, which means my heat shells are going to have problems because cage and ERA, as you can see. Oh shit, all reverse, get out of here. Ow. Okay, that hurt. That was a T-80. Got him right in the gun mantle where there's no armor. And apparently his allies shot him, trying to hit me. Now I can just wait on the T-72. No need to rush. Just wait on the main battle tank that I helped save from a chieftain. Hit the other one to finish the reset. And wait. There it is again. All day long. 72's got him knocked out. I'm looking for a shot, looking for a shot. Trying to hit his rear because there's nothing there to protect him. But sadly, my shots are not that accurate, and the T-80 hull has extra reinforcement versus heat, and I know it. I'm actually switching to HE just to get damage and reset. See? That's all I need. I need the reset. Don't care at this point. I'm also basically out of ammunition. And I recognize this as an issue. A minor issue, but an issue nonetheless. I don't know what I'm hitting. Is it those little potted flowers that were stopping my shells? Because that's some bullshit. Really didn't know what I was hitting there. Driving around. Recognizing the Ramka off to my left and continuing my driving around. Again, this is not a tank I want to challenge a Ramka into a point-blank duel with. That seems like a terrible idea. I've burned my kit here. And, ow. Okay, well, my kit's healing basically did nothing for me. We only have 30 seconds to survive. We just have to survive at this point. There we go. This T-72 is wisely keeping his hull down. And I am just hiding mostly from, you know, death. We have 7 seconds. We just have to live for 7 seconds. I think we got this. I take aim. I'm looking for the green. I found the green. Pull the trigger. Oh, wait. It's over. Whew. 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 Ghost Hunter is one of those maps where if you want to put a tank to the test, this is where you do it at. Because you will get your ass kicked.
We prevented a major disaster today.
My next review will be going back to PvP, but a couple people asked for some PvE review. I'm going to give you some PvE review, and I'm not going to make the video too long. So there you have it. God, that could have gone a lot worse. Like how T-72's treads are still moving even though the battle's over. I'm also delaying the Challenger because I don't necessarily want to buy it yet. There's going to be some major changes in the upcoming 0.11 patch. And I also know there's going to be a lot of people grabbing their tier 9 vehicles. So holding off on grinding out the credits for it. But here we see, I didn't quite get the blue star. I did get most damage, but because the T-72 got so many more kills, he actually gets the blue star. Congratulations, T72. It's not a bad machine. It's really not. I can honestly say it's been fun. Once you get used to the wheeled vehicle aspect, like, take some time and drive it around and get used to wheeled vehicles, because it's a completely different environment. So folks, that is the LAV-300 in all of its glory. If you have enjoyed this video, I would ask that you hit the like button. If you want to see more stuff by me, subscribe! I put up stuff like this all the time. If you would like to support the channel, you can do so through Patreon or through clicking on the ad at the end of the video. And if you would like to see the previous Armored Warfare video, well, guess what? I'm nice about it. It's right there. It's also in the cards. So you can take whichever route you want to go get the previous Armored Warfare video. Let me go double check, but I believe it's the review of the T62 and the T62 Veteran is what I use as the basis for the review. So go have a look-see. You might find you enjoy it, because so far everybody seems to have, and there's like 200 of you that have seen it. Just saying. Just suggestion. And that's about it, guys. So this is Fiaura officially signing out for right now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, guys. Have fun.